This is how the production of a true American classic Chevrolet Corvette begins. The Chevrolet Corvette has been produced exclusively at the St. Louis, Missouri, and Bowling Green, Kentucky plants since 1953. Now in its 8th generation, the Corvette remains an icon of American performance and design. Each year, about 52,000 Corvettes are sold worldwide, with roughly 46,000 purchased in the United States, 3,500 in Canada, and 2,500 across Europe. In manufacturing, a key advancement is the installation of the front dashboard. In the Corvette, the dashboard connects directly to the windshield frame, and thanks to automation, robots now install this entire assembly as a single unit, improving both precision and efficiency. The Corvette, by virtue of being a two-door convertible and coupe, has some specifics in the manufacturing process. You are now watching the production of the C7 Corvette, which currently cannot be bought new. The last C7 Corvette and the last front-engine Corvette, a black Z06, was auctioned for $2.7 million. Just the Chevrolet Corvette is a classic collector car that if you buy and take good care of it, it will grow in value. At this stage, factory workers install the windshield, using a feeder to position it precisely before securing it to the body frame with adhesive. The process then moves on to assembling the car's interior, including the steering wheel proudly bearing the signature Corvette emblem. The main assembly line still relies heavily on human labor, as certain tasks, such as connecting the vehicle's intricate wiring, are too complex for robots to handle efficiently. Some factory workers perform their tasks without wearing goggles, helmets, or gloves, dressed much as they would be at home. Car bodies are transported through the facility by overhead cranes and moving tracks. Next comes the stage known as the marriage. This is the moment when the car's mechanical components, engine, transmission, drive shafts, axles, fuel tank, and other key systems are all mounted to the body in a single coordinated process. Employees can now easily bolt the chassis to the bodywork. This is a demanding job as they have their hands above their heads for much of the work shift. The Corvette C8 E-Ray was unveiled last year. It is the first production Corvette to include front-wheel drive electric motor components. The hybrid powertrain features a combined 655 horsepower generated from a 6.2-liter LT2 V8, coupled with an E-motor powering the front wheels. It listed at over $122,000 before options. Using a pneumatic screwdriver, an employee quickly and efficiently attaches the wheels to the Corvette. The assembly process is supported by a positive work environment and strong teamwork among employees. These assembly line workers love their job so much that they say they would do it even for free. At the end of the production line, the body is polished, and each Corvette undergoes a thorough inspection to ensure flawless quality and a brilliant finish. The Corvette Stingray is a classic going through a modern resurgence. The curved lines of the hood and small trunk were popular during the second and third generations, called Corvette C2 and Corvette C3, respectively. Now the Chevrolet Corvette Stingray will be put through a dynamic test and taken to the showroom. You are now watching exclusive footage of the last Chevrolet Impala being produced at the Detroit factory. Now you're watching the production of the Chevrolet Traverse, full-size crossover SUV. It is a small manufacturing plant with 2,900 employees. Mostly Americans and Mexicans work here. The Chevrolet Traverse is manufactured exclusively at General Motors' Lansing Delta Township facility in Michigan. This state-of-the-art plant holds the distinction of being a gold-certified automaker for its commitment to environmental stewardship and sustainable production practices. In addition to the Traverse, the Lansing Delta Township Assembly also builds the Buick Enclave and GMC Acadia, making it a key hub in GM's lineup of full-size SUVs. As you can see, there are a number of female workers in all different positions. The third-generation Chevrolet Traverse finally went into production in 2024. The new model is selling very well. Production of the Chevrolet Suburban in Tahoe begins here with the precise stamping of sheet metal, shaping the raw steel into the body panels that will form the structure of these full-size SUVs. The video you are watching was filmed inside General Motors' Arlington assembly plant in Texas, one of the company's most important facilities and the exclusive production site for these flagship models. Car body sealant is applied here by automated robotic arms. At Arlington, vehicles are built on GM's advanced GMT T1XX platform, which underpins a range of full-size SUVs known for their strength, capability, and comfort. In addition to the Chevrolet Tahoe and Suburban, the GMC Yukon and Cadillac Escalade are also built on this same production line. The Chevrolet Suburban and Tahoe both have powerful internal combustion engines, so the chassis and engine are assembled separately along with the body. This factory has been producing SUVs and other vehicles as well for more than 60 years, establishing a long legacy of automotive manufacturing. As one of General Motors' largest plants, it employs over 5,700 dedicated and satisfied workers who contribute to the production of some of the company's most popular models. Among them, female employees earn over $26 an hour, reflecting the plant's commitment to fair wages and a supportive working environment. Once the wheels are attached, the nearly finished Tahoe moves into the lighted tunnel for quality control. Tahoe has regularly been the best-selling full-size SUV in the United States, frequently outselling its competition by 2 to 1. After checking the paintwork, steering, and controls, the lights are tested, and then the car goes on the test circuit. The Chevy Silverado 5500 HD has a gross vehicle weight rating of up to 19,500 pounds. These test drivers take dozens of finished Chevrolet cars to the test track each day. This is Fairfax Assembly and Stamping, a key facility owned and operated by General Motors. At Fairfax, production always begins with the pressing of sheet metal, where massive giga presses shape and stamp the body panels with precision. These presses form the foundation of each vehicle, ensuring structural integrity and quality from the very first step of assembly. These employees will use the parts to assemble the main body frame of the future Chevrolet. Every day, several thousand new cars are produced at this plant. It employs more than 2,100 hourly and salaried employees. The employees are represented by the United Auto Workers Local 31. This is how the car was tested in the wind tunnel. The Lyriq also has a low coefficient of drag thanks to this process. Chassis stability and driver's cabin soundproofing were tested here during the development of the car. The vehicle is powered by a 100 kilowatt-hour Ultium lithium-ion battery featuring an advanced NCMA cathode, providing high energy density, long range, and reliable performance for modern electric driving. The full-size luxury Cadillac CT6 is no longer in production and has been replaced by the newer Cadillac Celestiq. The Cadillac CT6 was discontinued due to poor sales, as well as the need to rebuild the Hamtramck factory to produce electric vehicles. Independent studies consistently rate Cadillac cars as reliable, even when they have been around the block several times. With an emphasis on quality materials and construction, you can count on Cadillac to stand the test of time. This is Factory Zero, General Motors' cutting-edge hub, and the launchpad for the company's multi-brand, all-electric vehicle strategy. Factory Zero plays a central role in GM's vision for an electrified future, combining advanced manufacturing technology with sustainable production practices. Factory Zero will also build the upcoming GMC Sierra Denali and Cadillac Escalade IQ, in addition to assembling Ultium battery cells into modules and packs for a variety of car designs. Now let me take you inside the Orion Township plant, where a dedicated team of 1,200 employees is currently at work. The worker preparing to assemble the wheels begins by carefully marking the center of the brake disc. This precise marking ensures the correct positioning of the wheel holder, which will be attached securely in the next step of the assembly process. This stage of manufacturing is often compared to a giant jigsaw puzzle, intuitive and relatively easy to learn for new employees. Workers are driven by a strong focus on both speed and flawless execution. Those who perform exceptionally well can earn a bonus at the end of the shift as a reward for their skill and precision. Conversely, employees who arrive at work fatigued and make mistakes may face sanctions, and in extreme cases, could even be dismissed. Thanks to mechanical assists that help lift and position heavy components, up to 40% of the workforce in these GM factories can be women, allowing for a more diverse and inclusive assembly team. Here you can observe the production of the HFV6 engine paired with a 10-speed transmission, a combination that powers some of GM's most popular vehicles. The engine features a 60-degree V6 configuration with 24 valves, an aluminum block and heads, and a sequential multi-port fuel injection system, delivering both performance and efficiency. Once assembly is complete, the engine is carefully moved to the warehouse before being sent to the main assembly line for integration into the vehicle. At this facility, vehicles such as the Cadillac XT4 and the Chevrolet Malibu, both built on the same platform, are manufactured, showcasing the plant's versatility and precision in producing multiple models efficiently. If you have been following this YouTube channel for a while, you will have noticed that all the factories in the United States are very similar. Compared to car factories in Europe or Asia, these factories in the US are dark, and there is a less discipline and order. Personally, I think it's wrong, and it should be improved, otherwise Europe and Asia will overtake us in car manufacturing. This is what it looks like to scan a molded Chevrolet Silverado door into a computer where it will be optimized. This is what chassis capability testing looks like during the development of a new vehicle. Engineers carefully evaluate the durability of the chassis components while assessing the effectiveness of the shock absorbers in providing optimal shock absorption and ride comfort. In addition, tests focus on sound deadening performance to ensure that vibrations and road noise are minimized, contributing to a smoother and quieter driving experience.